Hello, guys, and welcome to Cricket Caviar. We are going to review an epic ODI series. ODI is a rare format nowadays, and we don't see tight or competitive series. But England hosting Australia was one of those kind of series. Even though Australia were not full strength, they didn't have their main captain Pat Cummins, and there was a drawn T20 series built up before that. The first two matches, actually, Pratik, I think we have discussed in the last weekly review that Australia absolutely crushed England in a humiliating manner. And what I thought, Pratik, Australia just wanted to have some fun. They wanted to make this series relevant. So what they did, they just lost two matches casually to England. One of them matches Travis Head was not even playing, and they were just experimenting stuff with Cooper Connolly playing or someone. Even today, Cooper Connolly was playing. So
And
they were
Aaron
just
Hardy
experimenting.
is also new. Yeah.
Aaron Hardy. Oh, he's a genius. So they were just having some fun and they were like, let them level the series and then we'll go to a series decider. And the series decider today, the fifth ODI, was in a quaint little town called Bristol. And this was such a beautiful ground, Pratik. If you see the scenery of the ground, there are apartments just meters away from the boundary line, and there are houses colored in red color throughout the city that are visible because there is no grandstand in the stadium. And England started in a manner I thought that today England are intent
Yeah.
on winning this series. They started with 10 overs 80 and they were 25 overs 200. Harry Brook has had three consecutive 50 plus scores, including 100 in a successful chase, and it all looked set for England to post a big total. But then comes the mastermind Steve Smith, who was given captaincy, who's always given captaincy for the most important matches, and he just realized that the pitch is turning, and he starts, using Zampa. Zampa, who has conceded 44 runs in 3 overs,
3 overs.
comes and breaks the partnership. And I was actually watching the match and I was like, wow, what is happening? The ball is turning, and Josh Inglis is like shouting behind the stumps. Maxwell is bowling, then they have two left-handers, so Maxwell and Matthew Short are bowling together. And then comes Travis Head in the 33rd over. Travis Head, and I'll tell you, if Travis Head doesn't get you with the bat in hand, he will get you with the ball in hand, like we have seen in ODI World Cup semi-finals in South Africa, where he got the most important wicket of Heinrich Klaassen. Today, he got the entire lower middle order and tail out with some beautiful off spin, which no one has been able to figure out. And that was his best ODI figure and list A figure, 4 for 28. What a performance from Travis Head. And it was only because of Adil Rashid they actually managed to reach 300. So for the in the last 25 overs, they only scored 107. That's it. And the same amount of runs were piled up by Australia in the first 10 overs, where again Travis Head went berserk. He got out,
With
but
Matt Shot. Hmm.
Matthew Short, man, 58 of 30. Ricky Ponting said it today. Don't bowl short to short. Don't bowl short to short. And they bowled short to short. Short punished them. He hammered them into the front yards of those red houses in Bristol. He was hammering them into those houses, and it was a beautiful sight. And they made it like a T20 match. They knew the rain was going to come, so just hammer these English out and show them that we are the world champs. We can come to your home and win an ODI series. We are not, ODI runners up that we will depend on few drop catches and stumpings and some Rishabh Pant's
And
fluke
some weird
century
rules.
to get a series win. We are the ODI jams, and Travis Head and Max, my two dogs, like I call them, my
Yeah.
dogs. They took 6 wickets in the match, and I just love whenever I have some pets, I'm going to name them Travis Head and Maxwell because I can pay to watch these guys anywhere. I was lucky enough to watch a double hundred by Maxwell in Mumbai and 100 by Travis Head in Dharamshala, and these two are my ultimate favorite players. They can turn the game with the bat, in the field, and with the ball in all three departments. I
I,
just love them.
I love Travis Head too. I had the privilege of watching him in Hyderabad and in Dallas, Texas, playing for Major League Cricket in US. But wonderful summary, Shikhar. What a match and what a good venue. Like I always love when there's a new venue. And to be honest, England did play well after they were 2-0 down. So I did enjoy that mini Ashes battle between the two sides. But on the day of the finals, even though Australia I had one bad game, the fourth ODI, where they got thrashed by England, I just thought to myself, we did a poll in the group. I'll share that with the viewers. we did a poll who will win the final match, even though Australia got 126 all out. And everyone, most of them voted for Australia because we know Travis Head is playing a final. We know who is going to win. And what a show by Australia today. England might still be saying that the match did not get complete, but I think that Steve Smith and English partnership had sealed the match though. Like I did not see any other result. Adil Rashid was not able to bowl much with the damp conditions, anyways. So I think that match was sealed today.
And look at these sorry guys, man. And Baz is claiming himself to be such an aggressive cricket player. And when they started losing, so they started wasting time. They started wasting time. They were so Matthew Potts' boots came off, and he was like, "Yeah, oh, I'm not able to put my boots on. I need a new boot." And then a new boot comes.
That was very
So
shameful. The way they were trying to
yeah,
waste the
man.
time.
I mean, Gulbadin Naib and Afghanistan doing that kind of thing is still understandable because it's Afghanistan. They are just underdogs.
And that was a
But
World Cup. That was a World Cup.
yeah,
Yeah,
that was against
World Cup
Australia. It's a World
qualification.
Cup. I mean, against Bangladesh. I mean, to eliminate Australia. But these guys doing it. I mean, England. You are T20 World Cup jams and ODI World Cup jams in last 5 years, and you still have to do this kind of pull this kind of shit. That is
No, I'm seeing a
unbelievable.
gradual decline. They are panicking basically. They are just relying on Brook in the middle order, who is actually delivering,
Hmm.
which is good to see. But yeah, they're panicking. Gone are those days when they had Hales, Bairstow, Josh Butler, and Ian Morgan in the middle order. When they were actually, if the last time when Australia went to England, they made I think two or three times 400 plus scores. They even made 480 in one ODI. But those days are way back now, way behind, and they're
And
really struggling.
I didn't understand the selection for this game. They didn't have the batting depth. Like after Bethel, there was Bryden Cars, there was only Adil Rashid at the end. There was no batting depth, which England is famous for. They used
Yeah,
to have these players like Chris Jordan,
Chris Wokes.
Sam
Yeah,
Curran, and all
Chris
these
Wokes.
guys used to bat so deep. So I missed that kind of thing with England.
Yeah, why
I
are
don't know
they
what Baz
playing
is
pure
trying to.
bowlers? I just don't understand that. And it was
Hmm.
very sorry, it was very shocking. Like 206 for three, and then you're 260 for eight. I was like, what the hell happened in that middle phase? I actually missed that phase, but now I have to rewatch it.
Yeah.
So Australia, yeah, like heavily
I
dominated.
actually missed the beginning phase when they scored so heavy. So I only saw that the ball started turning and Josh Inglis was shouting, "Wow, wow!" And good to see Josh Inglis back actually into the ODI squad instead of Alex Carey, who actually won them one of the ODIs. But still, it's Josh Inglis is also a fantastic player. And at the end, kudos to Australia. They always play high risk, aggressive cricket. At the end, also, they were not thinking. Normal logic would have told them to conserve wickets and play safe, but they were
Yeah,
not thinking of conserving wickets. Inglis and Steve Smith were just going for the shots, hitting sixes,
they were
and
set, so they started to play aggressive. Yeah,
yeah, even in that fourth ODI, yeah, people will say they got all out for 126, but they were like, "Ki, if we have to go for it, we'll go for it. They will not play a KL Rahul knock here
yeah.
and be satisfied with 240. There's no
So
point."
basically,
So
Australia in the last 2 or 3 years have adopted English approach to go hammer and towns in the ODIs, and now they are able to
yeah,
do that well, then better than England. That's how to summarize it.
they have mix of players. I mean, everyone has their own game. If you see Steve
Only
Smith,
Smith and
he's not
Labuschagne,
doing.
yeah, they sometimes try to build
Labuschagne
innings.
is,
Yeah,
yeah, they are playing their own ways, but yeah, most of the other players. And I think one thing that I would like to mention, I think Vase and if we were also mentioning this on their channel, there is one useless guy who has been made captain. That is Mitchell Marsh.
mm.
Whenever he is out of the
Yeah.
team, you will see Australia
And he has a
winning
big mouth.
those games.
He says things he's not able to deliver as
Yeah.
often. Yeah,
And so Vase was actually saying that from the time that he kept his foot on the World Cup, his time has gone bad. And
yeah,
it, yeah, so he's got some kind of curse. I mean, yeah, he played well versus Pakistan in that test series. He scored a lot of 50s there. And he got the Australian Player of the Year and he's been made captain. But Australia should have won the T20 World Cup, to be honest, with this kind of approach and how they
yeah.
play. They should have won the T20 World Cup. They didn't win there. They lost to India. They lost to Afghanistan. And now, I think whenever he is there, I feel something is off. Look at how Matthew Short and Josh Inglis and how these guys play. They
Super,
play with
super.
much more freedom than Mitchell Marsh. So I don't understand why Mitchell Marsh, apart from the test team, yes, do keep him in the test team, but not in the white ball formats. It's
Yeah.
okay. He won you a World Cup final and everything, and that's been done. So, but now you should just close the doors on Mitchell Marsh and
Yeah, yeah.
make Steve
Maybe in
Smith the
T20
captain then.
or Test match he's okay, but not seeing
Hmm.
him perform in the ODI level at that.
And whenever Steve Smith is captain, you'll see him become a different kind of player with the
Yeah.
bat. He's more fired up. You can just clearly observe that he's more fired up in the field.
Today was
He's
the
more
best knock,
engaged.
even though it's a small knock, but today Steve Smith's knock was the most impactful in this series.
Hmm,
And
hmm.
Australia, congrats to them. They won. They managed to win without Pat Cummins. That's also a highlight.
Yeah, I was actually missing Pat Cummins in last two games because whenever Brook was having that kind of partnership,
Yeah.
so I was thinking that Cummins always used to break these kind of partnerships, and he used to be a bowler for all phases because he could
Mm.
bowl at the death also, like we saw in IPL, he was the death bowler. But yesterday Mitchell Stark, I mean day before yesterday, Mitchell Stark got smashed for 28 runs versus Livingston.
Livingston has
That thing
surprised
wouldn't
me. He
have
has
happened.
revived his career. By the way, that's good to see.
Yeah.
So,
That thing wouldn't have happened if Cummins was there. And
yeah.
yeah, man, kudos to Livingston actually throughout this entire white ball series. Like even in the T20s, he was the standout performer.
Mm.
And he's an integral part of England's team. He's going to remain as whenever they play in Asia, his spin or West Indies, his spin
Mm.
is going to be important. So I don't see that,
And
even in 2026 World Cup, he can hit those big sixes. We have seen Haris Rauf traveling for miles before Kohli hit him in Adelaide. It
yeah.
was Liam Livingston who hit him big. So
But
he's always that kind of guy.
even in fourth ODI, the biggest six of the match was actually Travis Head when he pulled the ball of Brandon Cars and the camera actually could not locate it. It just went outside. It was an unbelievable shot from Travis
Uh,
Head.
I mean, to explain Travis Head, we'll have to do a separate video, man. But
You
today
don't
I
have
just
much
was
time.
listening to his player of the. So he was adjudged player of the series,
We have a
and
minute left. Yep.
yeah, and what is he? I'm moving well. I need to get up and get running. So he just speaks. He's not able to articulate what he's doing. He's just saying, I'm moving well. So this is such a random out of the blue kind of thing that Travis Head is doing. And he's doing it so
I
consistently.
think that's
The
the
world
beauty.
cricket
He
is
doesn't take
amazed.
that much pressure. I think he just tries to go play the ball to its merit. He doesn't overthink.
Yeah.
That's why he's so
And he gets
successful.
into that kind of rhythm of the ball hitting the bat like tuck, 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 tuck,
But
tuck,
I
and
am
gone.
sure he has one of the best eyes, the way he's able to hit the ball in
Yeah, man.
different areas and like so
And he
quick.
finishes the game in 10 overs. Now, it doesn't matter if the ball is going to turn afterwards or what it's going to do. He just finishes it in the power play. He plays it like a T20 power play. They scored 66 in first 6 overs. So it's
Shikhar,
just
one
like
thing,
a
if we
T20
have to
power play.
generalize this performance and look at the future, I think Australia is a serious contender to win the Champions Trophy. I can see their team is so good, and England actually has to do a lot to even be contender for
Yeah.
the semi.